Thank you. All right, so today we shall proceed with lesson 5, which is a penultimate lesson in this course. We are only left with one topic in our curriculum after today. And I think that will also be one class, hopefully next week, which is going to be a physical class. So we shall talk about integration of technology in computer science education. This topic is very, very important because we are going to explore some opportunities out there where you can equip yourself with skills and knowledge that can make you to be a 21st century teacher or make you to be a teacher for fourth industrial revolution. So what you should expect in this lesson. So I said, what you should expect in this lesson, you should expect the fact that we are going to explore effective use of educational technology tools and resources. We shall also explore issues related to online learning. We shall explore issues related to gamification and simulation in computer science education. And then we shall look into coding and programming tools. Programming, Java, C++, C#, and so on, even better than what you are taught in the physical classroom. So, and some of them, you can even get certified, free certificates, or at times you have to pay some token to get certificates. So, which is more presentable. Just imagine here in Nigeria, you get a certificate from Harvard. So these are top, this is one of the top universities in the world. Okay, perhaps even the toppest. So number one. So, let's start with the first one, where we talk about the benefit of educational technology in CSE. So you shouldn't be told, as in by now, you should know that educational technology has revolutionized not only computer science education, but every field of studies, regardless of where the background is coming from. By integrating technology into what you do, you get an edge over than others. So because it provides numerous benefits for both teachers and students, and even non-teachers and non-students. So the advantages of integrating educational technology tools and resources in computer science education can be discussed under the following headings. We start with the first one, which is enhanced engagement and motivation. By integrating educational technology into your teaching, you'll be able to create an interactive environment where your student will be more engaged and more motivated. And you can do this through some simulations or game or personalized learning experience. Another benefit you can gain by integrating technology into your teaching is improved understanding and conceptualization. So we expect our students to develop what we call conceptual understanding rather than procedural, or we want more of conceptual than procedural understanding. I think these two types of understanding, we've already talked about them previously in our class. So by integrating technology into your teaching, you'll be able to improve student understanding and the conceptualization of the concept of the concept related to the topic at hand. So active tutorials and demonstration by using what we call adaptive learning platforms, where you go in as student and then the learning progress is adapted according to your competence, according to your ability, and according to your skills. Okay? Maybe for some of you that you have elder brothers who have traveled abroad for study, there will be, if the person is in science, they will take what we call GRE, Graduate Record Examination. This type of exam is based on quantitative and verbal reasoning, where and some mathematics, I think they're about. So when you get question is determined by your answer to the previous one. So if you answer the first question correctly, and that question, okay, you answer it within some few seconds, the next question, you should expect something more difficult than the previous one. Until you get to the peak of your ability, then it will start descending again. At the end of the day, you are going to get a score that is relative to your understanding, that is relative to what you know. And that type of exam, they call it adaptive learning platform or adaptive learning examination. It's adaptive. Then what again you can gain by integrating technology into your teaching is you can foster collaboration and communication among your students, not only among the students, even between the teachers and the and the students. You can do this through online collaboration tools and platforms. Unfortunately, we plan to use modules for this particular course, but due to the problem with the modules at the university, then we couldn't. We have to switch to Google Drive. Even though there's some interactions you can gain in Google Drive, but it's not as much as that of learning management systems like Moodle or Canvas. So, but online learning platform can also create this. You can get some alternatives which are free. One of them is the one we are using now. So you can do this through virtual classrooms and discussion forums. In this particular classroom that we have right now, there is option for you to make some comment in the chat or to ask some questions as you like. So through this, you can get some kind of discussion with others and with your teacher. Then you can have peer feedback and assessment. Okay. So benefits of educational technology in education can be summarized by this particular diagram. So where we can have collaboration, game-based engagement, assessment, online peer, motivation, tutorials. This particular diagram actually is into your teaching. So what about the strategies? Now you've seen that there are a lot of benefits for integrating technology into teaching. What about the strategies through which you can go about this integration? Okay, so the very first thing you should take note is that you should align the technology with the learning outcomes. This is very fundamental, and it's the baseline. Technology you choose must align with the learning outcomes. Don't bring in a technology that will not meet any learning outcomes of your subject or of your course. So you need to identify the learning outcomes, of course, and then you need to select appropriate tools, appropriate digital tools, then you can now integrate seamlessly. So this is very fundamental. So when you ask the question about strategies to integrate technology into your teaching, you need to start with what? Alignment between the technology and the learning outcomes. Then you provide clear instructions and guidelines. You need to guide your users. You need to guide your students by giving them clear indication how they can access technology, how they can log in, how they can, of course, we are going to come to challenges of this kind of thing. But at least for now, we know that we need to set clear instruction and guidelines. You communicate expectations, you provide step-by-step instruction, and you offer technical support if there is any need for it. Then, you need to promote active learning. This is also very fundamental in any, even this physical classroom. You can ask questions and immediately you see students reluctant, you can call somebody out, ask them. But you need to replicate that in virtual learning. So through promotion of what? Active learning. So you can do this by encouraging exploration and experimentation, facilitating collaboration and discussion, and even foster creativity and critical thinking. I think we are going to have some of these things today in this virtual class. Then the next thing is align technology. Okay, I think this is a repetition of, further explanation to what we have by the left side. Okay. Then what about the challenges that you can face? Okay, there are a lot of challenges that can be faced when you are integrating this technology into your teaching. You should expect one, technical infrastructure and support. You need to provide adequate hardware and software, reliable internet connectivity. You can support. So for both teachers and students, both of us can be affected by this internet instability. Even if you have bought the data, you have charged your phone or your electronic gadget. Unfortunately, you set up everything and then you see the internet messing up. This is beyond your power. This is beyond you. Okay, but in a serious country, we should be able to hold them responsible for not providing the service that you have paid for. But here we have. So you need to expect this. Then digital literacy and training for teachers. One of the reasons why we have to, unfortunately, or fortunately, as the case may be, we have to make this class to be online. Not only because of the security situation in the country or in the state right now, but also for the kind of thing that we want to teach now. We want to explore some websites through which you can develop skills and knowledge. Unfortunately, we cannot do this in our physical classroom. There is no projector, all these kind of issues in there. We have to move online. So teachers need to be trained through this means. All right, then we need to address the digital divide. okay, by providing access to devices, internet connectivity, offline alternatives. Offline alternatives is very important here. And that's why I say, if you have problem with your internet connectivity, just struggle with it and pick whatever thing you can pick in this real-line or synchronous class. We're going to make the video available such that after the class, you can go back to YouTube and watch the videos. The way you watch your movies, then you can substitute watching the videos for the movies, at least for this course. Okay, then privacy concern and security. This is another issue that we need to face and deal with it. How can you protect your privacy? How can you protect your personal data? So we need to educate ourselves for safety use of online tools and seamless integration into our teaching by collaborating with stakeholders that are responsible for data protection in the country. All right, good. Yeah, so part of what we shall take is the online platforms. In today's lesson, we shall look into some platforms that we can key into as students or as pre-service teachers, through which we can facilitate effective teaching and learning. So these platforms actually provide us with central system to manage courses and even assess student progress. All right. In addition to this, they also provide us with powerful instrument facilitate access to wealth of information and educational content. So notable among these platforms, which we are going to explore this month, or the learning management system, first and foremost, then the massive open online courses, and then the educational website and platforms through which you can develop your skills, knowledge, and competence. All right. So let's start with the first one, which is the learning management systems. Okay, learning management system are one example of online learning platforms commonly used in educational settings. Take your mind back to the module that we use in Ahmadu Bello University. Unfortunately, this semester we couldn't access it due to one problem or the other. I got to know that one of the developers behind the module in ABU has traveled abroad for his PhD. And unfortunately, you know, the mess comes around. So we couldn't use module, but we have functional module in which previously this particular course was taught using the module. Another one is Canvas, through which you can use. Then we also have the Blackboard. In fact, Google Drive also provides a platform through which we can manage our lessons. We can share our lesson notes. We can share videos. We can share tutorial questions. We can exchange information. Okay? We can submit your assignment as you are going to do. You're going to submit your project through the Google Drive. So Google Drive is a free alternative to Moodle, to Canvas, to Blackboard. You see, for Moodles, Canvas, and Blackboard, they are not free. University need to pay the developer of this and then adapt it to our own need. Okay. So, but for Google Drive, at least as soon as you have your Gmail account, you have access to Google Drive. So this one is open for everybody to use. So this particular learning management system, they offer features like grade books, assignment submissions, communication tools. In fact, there's a forum. In our case, we have forum where you can interact just like you do on Facebook or you do on WhatsApp. You can interact on this forum that we have in the module with yourself and even with the teacher. Okay, so this kind of thing, they streamline administrative tasks and enhance learning experience of students. That is for learning management system. Let's now go to MOOC, the massive open online courses. So this one is a dedicated online platform. It's very popular, of course, where you can access educational content from universities and institutions worldwide. Mention the top universities in the world. They all have courses. Not sure whether ABU is getting into this platform, but yet there are thousands of universities in the world that have floated courses in this MOOC, where you can go in there, follow their courses, get certified without living in Nigeria. You can get their certificate. So it's over a wide range of computer courses of interest. We mentioned some of them like Coursera, edX, then Udemy. They are prominent examples of MOOC. But let's explore this website before we proceed. Okay, please, you can unmute yourself if you couldn't get the website, and let me know. I want to believe you have this website in front of you, everyone. All right, class rep, you can answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. So this is MOOC, okay? mooc.org, where you can come here and explore this website for courses of your choice. So we can show them to see how loaded this particular website is. Look at accounting courses. We have some courses in accounting. So look at area study courses. Look at business and management courses. Look at chemistry. Look at computer programming courses, where you have C programming courses, C++, C#, command line courses, JavaScript, Java courses, MATLAB, Python, R programming, Scala courses. So you can, if you are interested in any of these programs, any of these programming courses, just get into it, go in there, explore it, register, and then you get the knowledge. If you need a certificate, some of them you can get free, some of them you have to pay. Look at the other side where you have computer programming frameworks and packages. We can learn about Azure here. You can learn about blockchain. Okay, you can learn about HTML, pandas, and so on. Computer science as core courses, okay, where we have it, algorithm courses, compiler, on this side. You have creative art, you have current event courses, you have data science courses. These are things that are, that are very attractive these days. I'm talking about artificial intelligence courses, big data courses, cloud computing, computer vision, data analysis, data mining, data visualization, database courses, machine learning, then Power BI for presentation. So these are courses that you can key into. Just click on them, get into them. As soon as you finish this lesson, this particular slide, explore this according to your interest. I'm making engineering there, C, invest plus, differential equations, discrete math, linear algebra, mathematical modeling. These are the things that you can use to supplement the courses that you don't understand. You have a lecturer who didn't teach very well or doesn't come to the class on time or didn't teach you well. This is a place where you can come to complement that course. Calculus is calculus everywhere in the world. Differential equation is differential equation everywhere in the world. Okay? Java is Java everywhere in the world. Okay? Object-oriented programming is object-oriented programming anywhere in the world. Okay? So you just come here to supplement what you are taught in class. Okay, as teachers, you can also key into some professional development courses like critical thinking. So you have some courses here where you can learn about critical thinking. Okay, so you can explore this website on your own and then see how you can develop yourself. So this is MOOC. This is where it is. So maybe we should take a break and then pick one of these courses. Maybe I like to talk about Java. If you click on Java, you have where you can learn Java with this MOOC. Okay, you can learn it here. So learn Java with online courses and programs. So what is Java? And then you see some universities that are providing Java courses. Look at Codio, look at Georgia Tech. Okay, so this is a course from Georgia Tech, Introduction to Object-Oriented Programming with Java. Okay, so this is a university. Look at Harvard here, CS50, Introduction to Computer Science. This is Harvard. So this is a course from Microsoft Word, okay, from Microsoft as a company. So where you can learn Java, or this is another top university from Asia, okay? So where you can learn Java and then have certificates for it, and then you can improve your skill, you can improve your knowledge, and you can improve your competence, okay? I think that is enough of MOOC. Let's go back to our presentation. Then we also have some educational websites and platforms through which you can engage in and then develop your skills. So this educational website like Khan Academy, Code Academy, and Free Code Camp, they play significant role in computer science education. These platforms offer interactive tutorials, coding exercise development. So you have no excuse. As soon as you are in ABU, you have no excuse and you have access to this type of knowledge. Instead of you using the ABU wireless to download movies or to download whatever thing you are downloading, you can use it on the other way around. To learn more and then improve your own skill science, you should have knowledge of computer science within the 4 years or 4 year plus that you are going to use in Ahmadu Bello University. Okay, so let us explore, for instance, this Codecademy. Let's see what is there in Codecademy. We just finished with massive open online courses, and this is Codecademy. So where you can also get something. It's like there is a problem with the website, so they are going to fix it. But look at what we have in here. We have some resources. Look at subjects that you can key into. Okay, look at AI. Look at cloud computing. Okay, look at Code Foundation. So these are courses through which they are all, look at SQL. You can see SQL. So look at HTML and CSS. So this is where you can come and learn. Look at PHP. So you can come in here and learn some of this coding. And the good thing about this type of website is that you just need to adapt. The coding has already been done. You just need to adapt, make some changes, and then before you know what is going on, you have your problem solved using the coding website. And the knowledge is so open these days that you can even ask ChatGPT to write JavaScript for you. Just ask it to write some code. You can copy the code and adapt it to your need. So this knowledge is open to you. Yes, this knowledge is open to you, and we're exposing you to this so that you make benefit out of it. Equip yourself. Okay, let's go on. Free Code Camp, you can also key into that when you are less busy. So now, what about the benefit of this online learning platform? So this is an activity. Now I need to join with my other computer and then put you in groups. Then in the next maybe 3 minutes, you are going to come up with benefits of this online platform. What are the benefits you think you can gain by keying into these online platforms? All right. I hope you understand the activity. Now I'm going to put you in groups. Then in the group, you are going to discuss benefits of online learning platforms. Then you will come up with two, just one or two, maximum two. Okay, so you are all welcome back from the activity that you have done. Now it is time to share your findings with us. So what are the benefits of online learning platforms? Group 1, or you can speak for your group if you don't know what your group is.
Yes, sir, for group 1, sir.
Go
Can you
ahead.
hear me, sir? Yes, sir. What we found was
Go ahead. Yes.
Yes, sir. One of the benefits of online learning is flexibility and convenience. For example, just the way we are doing it now, we are all of online learning platforms is flexibility and convenience.
So the flexibility there.
Yes, sir, and
at
the convenience.
Least you can be on your bed and still be the class.
Yes, sir, exactly, sir. You can be on your underwear
and you can be in your balcony, or where is Umar at the garden. Okay.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. Nice
Thanks,
one.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So the next group, group 2, or group 3, or group 4, any one of you that is.
All right, I want to speak on a group.
So what? Group 2 or group 3?
I saw myself in.
Go ahead, Sulaiman.
Okay, sir. We also found it is cost effective.
Go ahead.
And then, for example, that often online courses they are more affordable than traditional in-person class, and they may be free or low-cost option available.
Thank you very much. You can learn cheaply online. That is very interesting. And there's a very good point. Just imagine you want to have certificates. 1 minute. Just imagine you want to have a certificate from Harvard. Apart from the fact that the school is so expensive, you need to pay for your flights from Nigeria to the United States, to and fro, at least 1 or 2 times in a year. Okay? Then you need to pay for your accommodation over there, which is more expensive. than staying in Nigeria. And then you need to pay for your So, but if you let the beat down a lot of cost, so it's very good. It's a very good point that when you learn online, there is this beating of cost. You can learn it cheaper, and you still have the same quality. Thank you. Now the next group.
So group, can I bring out here from group 2 again? Hello, sir.
For now, yes. Sani Suleiman, you belong to which group, and what did you get in your group? Go ahead, please.
On group 2, sir.
Go ahead.
It's technology skills as well. Like you can gain a proficient in using digital tools and platform.
You can gain proficiency in using digital tools and platforms.
That means it's enhanced for technology skills.
Yeah, which is far better than the traditional courses. Like some of you are complaining that you don't have practical in some of your courses that you do in computer science. Now with online platform, there are a lot of online virtual labs where you can learn some of these practicals yourself. You will see professors that is as in breaking down the pieces of this thing. And then you'll be able to install the software on your computer and follow the professor instruction. Before you know what is going on, that practical that you miss here, you can complement online. Please key into this, very important. The last group, and then we move on to group 4. Tell us what you found as the benefits of online learning platforms. Group 4 with
self-paced learning.
If group 4 is not ready, the time is not by our side.
Self-paced learning.
So go ahead.
Self-paced learning. You can learn at your own pace.
You cannot speak, you can also type. You can put your...
Okay, self-paced learning. So let me type it. Network is bad.
Yeah, self-paced learning, we got you. Personalized learning, self-paced learning, where you can design your curriculum for yourself. You look for convenient time, and then you self-paced. You schedule yourself, you schedule your classes. Not that the lecturer will be telling you that we are meeting 11 a.m. today, even if you want to sleep from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay? But with online learning platforms, you can schedule your lesson. You can schedule your lectures as the way you like. You can schedule your lesson that suits your own schedule or your own time. So take note of this. Thank you. And I think, thank you for your contribution. So we can look at what I have here, in which almost all what you said, I've already put them together, but in a way that will be easier for you to remember. So online learning platform actually offer flexibility and accessibility. So not only flexibility, as mentioned by Max, but also accessibility. You have access to information 24/7, okay? Diverse learning resources. So you also will be exposed to a lot of resources that is very diverse, or that are very diverse, from different universities, from different lecturers. And you know, when you combine ideas from so many people, you become so enlightened. So this is very important, unlike when your teacher is the only one that is teaching you. Okay? Career advancement, time management, I got that from Rahmatun. And the differentiation. You can personalize your own, like the last speaker said, self-paced learning. Yes, you can personalize your learning and take responsibility of your time. You take responsibility of your lecture, and you take responsibility of your assessment. Okay? Those are the benefits that we have. All right, the next thing we want to talk about is virtual environments. Yes, offer immersive and interactive experience that augment traditional learning methods. So virtual environment encompass both immersive and non-immersive. Immersive means that you are going to be in the virtual learning in such a way that you will be immersive. That is, there can be a kind of avatar that is making the experiment work or that is coding for you, and you will be able to control the avatar yourself. Just like you do when you are playing a video game, like PS, for instance, you'll be controlling who is going to kick, who is going to pass the ball, and how the shots should be long or short. I mean, so this kind of who is going to make the throwing, and when are you going to throw, how are you going to dribble, we'll be controlling the avatar in the video game. So that's kind of what immersive. So we also have learning platform through which you can experiment and you can code online using some of these tools. That one is immersive. While the non-immersive is one that is already done, where you can only watch how the movement is going, how the experiment or the coding is going, and your own is just to watch. You have no control over the avatar that is in there. This is a major difference between the immersive and the non-immersive. Okay, so immersive virtual environments like virtual reality, augmented reality, they create, this kind of simulated experience that replicate real-world scenarios. Okay, why they're not immersive on other than they are just 3D models that you watch. Okay, so notable benefits of virtual learning environments include especially this fits into our problem, where you are having a lot of courses that require programming and you have not been to the lab. So with the virtual learning, you can have virtual laboratories in which on Java, on C++, on C#, on Python, where you will see the avatar making the coding and you watch or you control the avatar. So this is possible. It is not film trick. This is reality. And I've just shown you some websites through which I will show you more. I will show you more of websites through which you can do these things. So it provides you experiential learning and simulation. It provides real-world application and helps to solve your problem, especially our major problem here, which has to do with what? Inability of laboratory equipment. And it enhances your engagement and your motivation. So some benefit that you can derive in some of these things, designing effective learning environments. So when you want to design it, so there are some considerations. I think the title is not correct. There are some considerations you need to take. You need to put some things into consideration. You want to design this kind of environment yourself. Of course, the very first step would be that you should set clear learning objectives and you should align whatever technology you choose with your objective. Then you should also facilitate collaborative learning. You should allow a student to collaborate and be able to share knowledge by putting them in groups, just like what we just done. I put you in groups, even though the activity is short, okay? And I think I make that to be compressed because of the time. So you can have this kind of experience where you work in group online and then you solve problems together, okay? Assessment student learning is also possible in online learning environment. So there are a lot of varieties that you can choose. We just covered the topic on formative and summative assessment. You can put this into use. The discussion that we just did now, which I complemented later on, is a kind of formative assessment. We are asked you to think and try to pick on your brain on what benefits can you derive from learning using online learning platforms. Okay? Then you can also have online quizzes. You can have online assignments, and then you can provide timely feedback. So these are some of the considerations through which you can ensure whenever you want to design online learning platforms or virtual learning platforms. That's what a game is. Either it is digital game or non-digital game. Some of you, when you're growing up, you play these card games, this Ludo, you play all these kind of games. But you play them just to wipe away time. And now when things are more digital, you play snake and ladder, you pick a lot of games, okay? I remember some few years ago, we used to pay some money in order to have these Mario games to play, this Mario that you have to, and some kind of nonsense at the time, you don't know what we're doing. So, but that is what happened. This Mario that you have to pay one person before you play, now you can do it, just download that by downloading the app, you can do it online. You can do it on your phone. But now in fact, you can even have a kind of collaborative Mario game now. or collaborative game where you'll be in Nigeria and you'll be competing with somebody outside Nigeria. The same game, real time. And you can win some prizes. You can also have some trophies and whatever, as the case may be. But this type of games, what if we now want to substitute some part of it with learning content? Okay, the process of doing that, of substituting some part of games with learning content, is what we call gamification here. Okay, so it's a powerful technique that applies game elements and mechanics in non-game context to enhance motivation and engagement. So we do this a lot, and we are advocating for it. For some of you that in the next 2 years now, you'll be writing your project, you can design a game for learning course 212. You are solving that problem for some of your colleagues that are coming. So these kind of problems we can identify and then prefer digital solutions to them. Okay, it will allow your colleagues, or the younger ones coming up, to be more participatory and also to improve their learning outcomes. So to grasp the concept of gamification, it's essential to understand that when we talk about gamification, there are some key terms that you should have it like this. The first one being the game elements. What do you mean by game elements? So this includes some kind of points, some kind of badges or leaderboards or levels or challenges and rewards that create a sense of achievement when you are playing the games. So this is what we call game elements. So these elements tap into student intrinsic motivation. You want to move from one level to another. You have some kind of life or some kind of strength that when you make a mistake, then the strength will reduce or the life will go down. And you get to a stage that the life will become zero, or the life will become zero, and then you'll not be able to go to the next level, and then you have game over. You have to start all over again. And if you are able to scale through, you can go to the next level, the next level, the next level, and so on. So this is very important. So the process through which you can gain coins, you put some coins in some games where you have coins, badges, points, and so on. So this is what we call game elements. So we also have game mechanics. Apart from game elements, we have what we call game mechanics. There are some games that are meant for competition, that you have to compete with others. In fact, there are some that you have to compete collaboratively. And there are some games that will give you feedback. There's some games will move you from level 1 to level 2, level 3 to level 4. And some will even give you some kind of achievement. Okay, now if you want to learn a Chinese language, for instance, so there is an app through which you can learn it. They call it Duolingo or Duolingo. So Duolingo will allow you to learn a foreign language in a game-based environment. So you can search for it. You can download some of these things if you're interested in learning another language apart from your own. Okay, mostly international language. If you are interested in learning Spanish, or you're interested in learning German, or you're interested in learning Norwegian or whatever. So you just go to Duolingo, download the app, is already on your phone. Just go to Google Play Store and download it. You can learn a foreign language in a game-based environment. So fun and so easy. I've used that before when I was abroad learning Norwegian, and it was helpful. Okay, so they foster a sense of challenge and provide instant feedback, encouraging students to actively engage in the subject matter. So now, as teachers or as pre-service teachers, what if we want to develop game-based instruction? We want to use games to teach. What if we want to design teaching method that involves games? What are the things we should consider? The successful application of gamification in our field relies on several considerations. These include, you should not be told, you should know learning outcomes must always be there. Remember, this is fundamental. So when you are making, your knowledge history or your knowledge archive, make sure that learning outcomes rings bell. Because this is a fundamental of teaching. You need to set out clear instruction. Okay? You need to set out clear instruction when you teach. So design what? Learning outcomes. Okay? So then after that, we select the game elements. Do you want to use point-based system? Or you want to make quests, trophies, so you need to select your game element. First and foremost, you set the game rules. You need to provide clear guidelines on rules that help maintain order and fairness. Provide feedback mechanisms such as immediate response or constructive criticism. Oh no, try harder. And then you can have some celebration, burst the balloons, congratulations, now you can move to the next level. All these kind of things, they are part of the things that will make the game more engaging. So we set the game rules, okay, when we are designing game for instruction purposes. And lastly, you can use game platforms. You see all these things we are saying, looks like rocket science, but they are so easy that you can just go to one website and the code is there. You just copy and adapt. Look at Kahoot. If you want to learn about designing games now, just go to Kahoot. And by the way, Kahoot can be used for quizzes and assessment in the classroom. Or you go to Code Combat. Or you can go to Scratch. In fact, Scratch, okay, let us pick this one after the other. Scratch offers pre-built games and challenges specifically designed for computer science education. Let's take Kahoot, for instance. You can develop quizzes in Kahoot. And I've used Kahoot before to develop quiz. A very simple platform to use and variably even free to access. This is Kahoot. Sign up free and then you start using it. Look at even the design of the website. Take some of these games. Some of them you have to pay, of course, as usual. And then while some of them, you can just use it and adapt. You can design your own. You have to. So these are some of the things you can get in here. Maybe you like in higher education, engagement and instruction, university and colleges, or you want in schools, Kahoot for education, or for assessment, or for interactive lessons, or learning apps. All these things are there. Let's just pick one of them. Perhaps I put Kahoot for education. So what can we gain from here? Yeah, you can develop or discover the benefit of Kahoot, and then you can start doing something on your own. This is how you can use Kahoot. This is Kahoot. So you can see some kind of pedagogical approach with research backup result. And people have used Kahoot even to teach in some schools abroad. So this is kind of thing you can get. So let's go to the next one, which is Code Combat. Okay. So look at Code Combat. I'm not sure if you get the slide. Yeah, I think it's pumping up now. So yeah, you can learn to code and even use AI all through, and then you'll be able to get something. So you can see this, some things you can get in there. And then you can sign up. Game-based learning. You can see a game where you can learn some things. So text coding, AI acceleration, educator empowerment, student impact. You can log in as an educator, as a parent, or even as a student. And you can start playing immediately. Anyone. The choice is yours. Okay, so this is where this is a website which we call Code Combat, where you can learn some things through form-based environments, which we call games. Okay, perfect. Let's see the last one, Scratch. I like Scratch a lot because Scratch gives you a sense of, you still have a feel that, yes, you are a computer education student or you are a student of computer science. Let's speak of Scratch. Scratch will take you through the process. Okay, and through that, you learn a lot. Okay, let's wait for the website to fully load, and then, okay, there we go. So we see we have Scratch in front of us. What can you do with Scratch? So you see, you can do a lot of things. So you can you share it with others around the world, a place where you can come and then develop games to suit your own purpose. You will not start from beginning. You just build on what people have done. Okay? And even if you want to start from the beginning, the life is so easy these days. Just go to ChatGPT to write the code for you. And then copy the code, adapt it, and then before you know what is going on, your game is developed. So you just need to put extra effort to learn these things. And you can make your career through this. This is very serious now. Some of you that are saying, okay, you don't want to be teachers, fine. But you can be a developer. A game-based learning developer, where you can develop games for schools. You can develop games for learning difficult subjects or difficult topics. in a subject. So these opportunities are open for you. And now you know where you can go to learn this text. Perfect. Okay, let's continue our lesson. All right. So what we just talked about here now is when you're designing a game-based environment, you need to consider the learning outcomes. You need to select game elements. You need to make rules for the games. And then you use online platforms to design these games for your need. Lastly, you need to establish assessment criteria. How are you going to assess the student who partake in the game? Interesting. So what about the benefits again we can have using game-based learning environment? There are some benefits. Okay, in doing this, one of them is gamification actually increases student engagement and motivation, especially now where we have a lot of Gen Z students in secondary school. So this set of students, they like technology a lot. They like digital tools. They like to play with phones. They like to play with technology. So if we can incorporate learning content into that technology, we are satisfying their needs, and we are also satisfying the need of education. So we are using one stone to kill two birds. So gamification. Secondly, it enhances learning outcomes and retention. Because what you interact with, what you play, you know, when you are playing a game, you will feel like you are the player on the field. You are playing PS. So you'll be so engrossed with it that any mistake like this, you take the responsibility 100%. So what if we make learning to look, and it's going to enhance the retention of what they learn? It will promote the development of problem solving and critical thinking skills. Now you want to move to the next level. And then this arrow is just throwing at you and is bouncing you back. Then you try to say, okay, can I go this corner? You make a target, and then before you know what is going on, you'll be able to escape the arrow and move to the next level. That means you are developing your critical thinking and problem-solving skills unknowingly to you. So this is very important. Then it fosters teamwork and collaboration. So like I mentioned, like we have competitive games where you can be playing with somebody elsewhere online. You'll be playing the games with people around the world, not only within your country or within your school or within your locality. You just subscribe to these online learning platforms, and then you start playing with whoever is online. You test your skill against the person, and then you can both team up together and collaborate to solve the problems together and be able to move to the next level together. Okay, then it allows for personalized learning and mastery, because you can do this on your own at any time. You just feel bored at home, especially now that some lecturers cancel their lectures or because of the protest or the insecurity, and you are bored at home. You can play some of these educational games and refresh your memory instead of you being tired and not knowing what to do. Okay, so this is very important. The next aspect of it, I think, second to the last, if not the last, is about simulation. Game-based environment is very close to simulation. In fact, we use simulation a lot when we are designing our games. So what do you mean by simulation? Simulation involves the imitation of real-world processes or systems using computer-based models. Okay, we can have some avatar doing experiment or doing coding or explaining something to you. I've been in an online class where my teacher threw out was AI-generated avatar. I thought course. The person who taught me was an avatar. It is real. Maybe you heard about students in the class. This is possible. This is the world. This is the future. So you know you can. You have these opportunities in front of you. Okay. So simulation provides students with between theory and practice, a risk-free environment for experimentation. They took their student on excursion to a place that they cannot access. Like for instance, you want to take your student on excursion area, but with simulation and virtual reality, you can bring that to the classroom. You should be thinking of this kind of thing. Okay, you just need to get some area map from the space of that location, then integrate them together using some coding. Before you know what is going on, you have Sambisa Forest in front of you. And some of the satellite images are already online. You just need to draw them and then put them together. So simulation comes in various forms, including virtual simulation, interactive simulation, and algorithmic simulation. So for the virtual simulation, it replicates real worlds through computer-generated environments, 3D graphics, you know. And for the interactive, you can control the avatar yourself. Okay, this is immersive, where you can control the avatar by yourself. And then for the algorithm, this one only about focuses on simulating computational processes or algorithms. So for some of you who will later become data scientists, you are going to do a lot of this in the future. Want to become data scientist, then you have to simulate. You can run your MATLAB code for hours. Of course, you need to get internet, light stability, that kind of environment. You cannot work in a company that you have to run a code for hours without stable internet or stable electricity. This must be in place. So for some of you that will become data scientists in the future, you are going to do more of this. Maybe by that time you'll be remembering my class that, oh, Dr. Zakaria mentioned this when we were in class in 208. By the time you become what you want to become. Okay? So for you to design simulation, again, the life is so easy. You need to remember learning outcomes must be there. And at the same time, you need to align your learning outcomes with your game or simulation. And then there are some websites that you can adapt codes to make simulations. You don't have to start from the scratch. So people are them. So to implement them, you need to identify suitable simulation that align with your learning outcomes and the topics you want to teach. At the same time, provide clear instruction for your student. Make sure it is accessible and compatible, okay, with their needs. And then you can go to NetGo. Simulate will allow you to design simulations that align closely with the curriculum and address specific learning goals. Okay? And allow students to actively engage in designing simulations that reflect their understanding of the subject. Let us explore NetGo. Perhaps the internet will allow us. Let's have it. What is there in NetGo? Have you seen it before? Okay, so we are there. This is NetGo. Welcome to NetGo. What can you do here? You can do simulation. You can run even this current protest. You can run simulation about current protest in Nigeria, the current end bad governance protest in Nigeria. You can run a simulation and just collect some data in Kano, in Zaria, in Kaduna, okay? And then you collect data from other places where violent activities took place, and then you can slot in the data into NetGo. It will give you the simulation, identify the red zones and stuff like that. So here you can come here, okay? You can see some kind of activity prompted simulation, this one that you have here. So you can create your own, you can create an account, and then you can start using it. So we start with downloading the NetGo, then you can learn about it. Then you can also design your own simulation, or you adapt simulation from others. Let's see if this introduction to NetGo videos we open. Okay, then we'll see what is in there. Okay, so.
Hi, I'm Uri Walensky, director of the CCL lab at Northwestern University and author of the NetLogo software. NetLogo is used worldwide by both educators and researchers to explore and create computer models of complex systems.
Computer models can be run, examined, and modified, even by children. By doing this, students can experience science by practicing modeling, much as scientists do. With NetLogo, you can explore and create simulations of any complex systems, from atoms to animals to societies to galaxies. The core element in NetLogo is an agent. Agents can be given rules to follow. In NetLogo, you create agents and give them rules. For example, in this simulation, there are sheep agents and wolf agents. Each agent has rules to move, eat, and reproduce. Sheep eat grass and wolves eat sheep. When you press the go button, at each tick of the NetLogo clock, The agents follow their rules, and you can observe the outcomes. On the left, the sheep overpopulate and inherit the earth. On the right, the ecosystem maintains a dynamic balance. NetLogo is freely available. It comes with a large library of sample models from biology, chemistry, physics, and from social sciences such as psychology, sociology, urban planning. It also includes curricular modules for use with a wide variety of ages and subjects. NetLogo also drives participatory simulations in which real people control agents that interact with other human-controlled agents as well as simulated agents. In this way, a classroom can all participate together in a simulated environment such as an ecosystem or economic system, with each student controlling an animal or buyer. Or thousands of users can participate over the internet in a large-scale simulation.
See our website for research.
Okay, I think that is fine. So with that, you can also explore it further on your own. Go to NetGo website if you are interested in simulation, and then make simulation for the purpose of education. So we can also look at Sim 8. So let's see what you can benefit from that website as well. So this is Sim 8, where you can also develop simulation free of charge. Okay, so this is what you have. You can learn about it from here. They have some training classes, they have some online coaching, they have academy, they have consulting. I'm to believe the consulting is not free, and you can get a demo of the sim. Your own, if you are new to simulation, you can learn about it, advertise what they do, which you can keep. You just got to the end of our lesson. So here you can know how to develop or design simulation easily without any problem, and then cheaply by focusing on only the adaptation from the website of those who have developed these simulations. All right. So you can collaborate. I think we've spoken about this. All right, what about the challenges and considerations? What are the challenges you think you can face? If you want to use these tools, which are just you think can come up. Now we are going to have another group session where you are going to discuss in your micro groups, in your breakout rooms, the challenges personally, as students of ABU. What are the personal challenges you think you can face if you want to explore some of these platforms for games development, for instance, or for simulation? So what are the challenges you think you can face? And then what are the likely solutions to these challenges? So you are going to bring in one challenge and how to overcome the challenge in your group. One challenge and how to overcome the challenge. I hope this activity is clear. Discuss a challenge of key into simulation and game-based learning, and then also come up with a solution to that particular challenge. We shall have 2 minutes for this activity. So I'm again going to put all of you in 4 groups. Okay. So now you need to share with us what you have come up with as a challenge and a solution to the challenge of key into game-based learning and simulations. So group 1, are you starting first? You are free to speak for your
Yes,
group.
sir.
Please go
On
ahead.
the game-based learning, the challenge there is aligning with learning objective. Is it now? You have to ensure the game mechanics directly contribute to learning outcome can be difficult. That is the challenge, sir.
Thank you. So
Under
how
the
we
game
overcome?
So let me. Okay, overcome it now. You have to clearly learning objective. Define clear learning outcomes before game development to ensure alignment. I repeat again. Clearly learning objective. Define clear learning outcomes before game development to ensure alignment. In order to ensure alignment, you have to declare learning outcome. Then let's go to the simulation answer.
Yes, go ahead. What's the challenge you can face in simulation?
Okay.
Even if I'm okay with one of them.
Learning. Transfer of learning, sir. Ensuring that skills learned in simulation translates effectively to real-world content. Should I repeat it again? Hello?
Yeah, that's the picture. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Now your outcome now is technical support. Provide adequate technical support to learners to address issues. You have to provide any technical support in order to help them and to find like maybe a remedy to the problems.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
With the provision of technical support, you will be able to make sure that your simulation is in touch with reality. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Group 2.
Thanks, sir.
Any person from group 2? Group 3 and group 4. Please speak for your group. We need to close the class soon. And the time is not there. Unmute yourself, or you can type in the chat. That is okay. If you find it difficult to speak because of your internet connectivity, you can type in the chat. I will come back to read your text. Okay, so what I have here as challenges and considerations. So you can have problems with technical requirement and access to necessary resources. But this one now, we have been able to overcome this problem, accessibility, by at least providing you some website through which you can explore these things, just adapt them. So you can make sure to balance game elements and academic rigor is another challenge. How can you make sure your game element is in line with academic rigor of that particular subject? So you want your balance it with form-based learning environment. How can you ensure equity and inclusiveness? Okay, it should be accessible to your students. How will they access this thing? And that means you will not be inclusive. All right. Right. So I also have some comments here from others about the accessibility, which I've mentioned that, and then also the issue of a lot of notes here. Let's quickly skim through. Okay, like limited engagement, but we can also make it more engaging. Initial cost of the software, licensing fees, some of them are very expensive, but now there are free versions which you can key into and use them. Okay, there are free versions now. Like the Scratch I opened to you, you can adapt it, even though you have to pay in some instances. Okay, technical support, I got that. Then feedback mechanism, okay, So these are the challenges, and from what I've read from you, I think we also have some. Now, we come to the last part of this notes. I think this is the last slide, if I'm not mistaken, which has to do with coding and programming tools for teaching computer science concepts. As computer science teachers in training, you need to know you cannot avoid coding, you cannot avoid programming. And these are fundamental to your teaching or to the course, the program that you follow. So for that reason, even if there is not enough practicals in Faculty of Physical Sciences, that is not enough. It is not enough excuse for you not to equip your skills. Now I'm going to show you some platforms through which you can go in there, learn more about coding, learn more about programming on your own. Even some, you are going to be certified and free. Okay, let's have them. So coding and programming, of course, they are essential, just like I mentioned. And these are the platforms through which you can come to learn these things. So you can learn Scratch. I've shown you about Scratch. You can learn Python. I've shown you already about MOOC, Massive Open Online Courses, where you can learn full course on Python. Then you can go to code.org. Just key into this website on your own. And I like this MIT App Inventor. I want to believe that name MIT rings bell. That is Massachusetts Institute of Technology, one of the best universities in the world. Usually their ranking is usually 1 to 5. Where you find Harvard, you mention MIT. Okay, so now they have this app. Let's go to the website. The website, the link is there. And it is free, it's open source. This is another thing. So you want to design Android application, or you want to design OS app for educational purposes, then you can come to this MIT App Inventor. So this is where you can come. I want to believe you have this website in front of you. So you can build, you can try tutorial, you can teach coding, you can ask questions, you can get involved. So, and then you can easily move this to Google Play Store, so your app will be live for others to download. So here you can come into MIT, and I think the resources to find here is fully open source. It is supported by Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Okay, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, one of the best universities in the world. You can look for ranking, ask for their ranking, QS ranking of MIT, it will bring it out to you. So you can come here to learn more about how to develop application for the purpose of teaching and for the purpose of learning. Okay, all right. I'm not just showing you those things for fashion or for you to just see them and forget about them. It is now your responsibility after this particular lesson or during your break or whatever. Take this note seriously, go through the website one by one, make sure you learn 1 or 2 things before you come for 300 level. Okay, you're gonna start your exam by the end of this month or thereabouts. By the end of next month, I expect you to finish your exam. So you have a small break, use that break to learn new things. So there's website tools and resources, Code Academy, Replete, GitHub. GitHub for some of you who are into coding already, because I know not all of you are not familiar with some of these things. Some of you, I want to believe you're already into coding. You should know GitHub. You should have an account in GitHub where you can keep resources freely, share your resources with others, and then gain from freely shared resources by others. So GitHub is a hub, is a place where you can go in there and get code, perfect code that people have tried, executed, and run successfully, and freely available for you to copy and